I also would like to ask and ensure that this interview is not being recorded today.
Yes, ma'am. It's not.
Alrighty.
Hey guys, long time no see. I know I look absolutely insane right now, but I was afraid I was going to forget to film this video tomorrow, so I decided to just go ahead and do it. I'm going to try to keep it real short, simple, sweet, quick to the point. So today, September 22nd, I decided to apply for the Disney College program. It's something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and so I sent in my application earlier, and within an hour they requested a phone interview. So next Wednesday, September 27th, I have a phone interview, and I thought I would take y'all along for this journey. And if I don't get accepted, I probably won't be posting this video. So if you're seeing this video right now, good news is ahead. Hey, it's game day, so I'm all dressed up now, but I just wanted to drop in really fast and say one of the reasons I'm so nervous about this interview is because I've never had a job before. I've only ever volunteered. I've been lucky enough to go 19 years without having to get a job. So this is a very new experience for me. Okay, today's the day. I don't know, I'm really excited, but I'm really nervous. I think I'm just kind of ready to get through with the process, and I'm going to record off my phone and accept the call on my laptop because I have a MacBook, so it just goes to my laptop. So hopefully everything goes fine with that. I watched a few videos to kind of see how the phone calls were going, and I wrote down a few questions that seemed pretty popular that were asked and went ahead and answered them on my end. That way if I blank because of nervousness or just like I get caught off guard by the question, I have some well thought out answers that I can go ahead and give them and sound professional, I guess. My goal is to not say every other word. I have a bad habit of saying I don't say it every other word, but I just, when I get nervous, I say it a lot. So we'll see how it goes. All right, y'all have to bear with me because I think this is I'll be like this. I think this is the angle we're gonna go with. Okay, it's currently Saturday. Call was on Wednesday, so it's a few days after my call. But at the very start of the call, she goes, I just want to make sure this isn't being recorded. Here's the clip.
Any questions, I'm happy to take those at the end of the interview. I also would like to ask and ensure that this interview is not being recorded today.
Yes, ma'am. It's not.
Alrighty.
And so out of just like respect and not wanting to get in trouble and all that good stuff, I just didn't record it, but I still want to pay it forward and talk about the call. So at the end of this video, or maybe soon, I don't know, I'll probably put a clip here in a second of the questions that I can remember that she asked me. They really weren't bad. Honestly, I started off the call so nervous, but as I continued, I'm at my mom's, by the way, and so if you hear her in the back, we're watching a football game right now. So the more I talked to her, the more comfortable I was. But honestly, she was really sweet. I think the call went well, but at the same time, every other interview I watched, it went exactly the same way. They're all like, wow, I love that answer. Thank you so much. So it's like, they're definitely a bit scripted, and I don't know whether to believe like, oh, I really did do good, or if it was just like, they're getting my hopes up. See, I have probably about a week and a half left. Like within that time frame, I'm going to hear something. The best way to prepare is to watch either other videos that have been posted of the actual phone calls. Clearly mine does not have that in here. Or just reading popular questions from 2023, the most recent questions, staying calm, staying collected. I don't even have a lot of work experience, but I still feel like it went well because I feel like I gave very professional answers and what I felt would be right to me and right to the company. Of course, like if they asked a question like, what would you do in X, Y, and Z scenario? Of course, I want to answer it in a way that feels true to me, but I also want to answer it in a way that presents me well and presents me well to the company. So I would answer a question, and it definitely would be, I mean, none of the answers were something I didn't believe I would do. They were all answers I would, like, that's thoroughly what I would do in that situation. But I just made sure I was presenting in a way that would be very in accordance to how Disney acts. My lady's name was Liz. She was very sweet. At the end of the call, I asked her what her favorite theme park was and then how she came to work with Disney. And I think that just kind of builds like a little connection and shows that you're engaging and all that good stuff. I also would say be well versed in what you're saying and what you want to say. So like I mentioned this, I kind of planned out a few of my answers. So the very first question they ask is, how do you think this would help? I see that you're a marketing major. I see, how do you think this would help in your career? And I planned out an answer that I thought was just very well thought out. And I didn't read directly from the screen. I just kind of made sure I hit the main points of what I had planned out, because I want to be able to give them an answer that's authentic and really does come from a place within me, but also an answer that's going to be well thought out, an answer that they're going to like. I don't want it to sound like I just told them whatever just to get the job, because I didn't do that. But I definitely told answers that presented me in the best light while still maintaining being true to me, but also making it sound very good for the job, which I think is what you do in any interview. I mean, maybe I'm just babbling, but all right, so here's the questions I asked. Okay, I'm just doing a voiceover while editing, and this may not be all the questions that she asked me, but it's a lot of them, and it's probably not in the order that she asked me either. So I'm just gonna work my way down from top to bottom. The call did last 20 minutes, like 20 minutes on the dot. So she started off strong with the how do you feel working for Disney will help you in the future with your major. And most of the Disney interviewers ask this in every single phone call. Every single one that I've watched, listened to, whatever, they start off with this question. So I'm a marketing major, and I just talked about how Disney's marketing is phenomenal and it's worldwide, and almost everybody on the face of the planet knows what Disney is, and how just being a part of that in a small scale and being able to represent marketing within the parks would help me. Of course, that's not my full answer, it was a lot more detailed, but just so you kind of get a feel for what I said. Then after that, she followed it by why Disney specifically, as in why did you choose Disney of all internships to go for? And I said not only because of my love for Disney, but just kind of round it back to marketing and how it's such a big thing in the company. And on top of that, this internship could give me just as good of an experience, if not better, than another place I could go intern for. And why not love where I'm interning instead of sitting behind a desk that I hate all day? She asked about my driver's license, if I was a U.S. resident, if I went to school at an accredited college in the U.S. She also asked what roles I'd be interested in and what could I see myself doing, and if there's anything I absolutely did not want to do. And I made it very clear, because I'm just happy to be a part of the program in general. It doesn't have to be necessarily in the parks, even though that would be my number one thing. Of course, I don't want to be cleaning toilets in a bathroom, but there's the perks of that job, and a lot of people have actually said that they loved having that job. So I just made it very clear that even though that wouldn't be my first choice, I'm very open to working anywhere, and I'm very adaptable to learning a role, to learning a job. I haven't had much experience in the workplace in general, but I am more than willing to go out and learn and make whatever wherever I get placed work. All right, I know I am speeding through these, but I just don't want to make this video drag on when I can really hit these points and move forward. So one of the other questions she asked was if I had faced any conflicts or problems in the workplace, and then how did I solve those problems. Like I've mentioned multiple times during the video, and I told her I've never had a true job before, so I didn't really have a workplace in terms of like employment like that. But I was big into theater. I was theater president, all that good stuff. I had competition plays that we did, and of course, problems are going to arise in that type of environment. So I talked about how we troubleshot those and worked around problems where we were butting heads as a team and time crunch problems and all that good type of stuff. How can you ensure safety in the workplace? I made myself kind of sound like a prude almost. I was big on following rules while still having a good time. Oh, she asked if I was perhaps working for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and there was some kids sitting on the ropes, which you're not allowed to do at Disney, what would I say to them? And I pretty much said that I would approach them in a calm, collected, and fun manner and just say, I'm so glad to see you having so much fun, but it is very important for your safety and ours that y'all step off the rails and yada yada yada. Really everything along those lines. So you can see where that went from there. How would you entertain kids without toys? I leaned into my theater side for this and just expressed that I have volunteered with kids in the past and presenting them with theater games, improv stuff, all that good type of stuff. If I say all that good type of stuff one more time in this video, I swear. All that stuff is great to use for kids that don't have toys around them. Are you comfortable memorizing scripts? I am, so I answered yes, of course. what is your favorite Disney memory? I just talked about going to Disney with my dad for my senior trip in 2022. Aside from the basic questions, this next one of how would you handle a guest that has not been sat for the reservations is a popular one that I've seen in videos, and she pretty much just set up the scenario that this couple or family comes up to me after about 30 minutes after their reservation where they were supposed to be sat, and they're like, we checked in ahead of time and we're still not sat, what's going on, we're hungry, we want to eat, blah blah blah. What I would do, which would be, check to make sure they did the reservations right. If they did, see if there's any availability to get them sat now, and just kind of work through the problem. Obviously more in detail when I talk to her, but right now it's not really necessary to dive into that detail. You can always reach out to me on Instagram if you do have questions and want more in-depth answers. She asked if I would be open to working with food, possibly chemicals and cleaning supplies, or stocking shelves and merchandise, and I said yes. Even though it wouldn't be my first choice, I am more than open to working with cleaning supplies and food, and of course merchandise. She also asked, and I wasn't really expecting this one, so it caught me off guard, if I were to get a job as a custodial person in the parks that walks around picking up trash, all that, how would I make a guest interaction magical? And I just said that I think regardless of how big you feel like your role is in the parks, you have every opportunity to make a guest interaction magical by really bringing out that happiness and showing that you do love your job, even if it seems like it's not the most glamorous, and maybe giving a little pixie dust every now and then where you give a person like a little free ticket to go get ice cream, and just really leaning into the fact that like this is meant to be the happiest place in the world, quote unquote. That's really all the questions I can remember from my interview. Of course, like now it's November 10th right now, so it's a good while after my interview, so it's probably on me for waiting this long, but this was the majority of the questions right here. And then at the end of the interview, I asked her some questions just to engage with her. It really made us feel like we bonded, because throughout the interview it was kind of hard to tell if she really enjoyed me or not, and enjoyed our talk. But at the end, when I was engaging and asking her questions and she was telling me about her Disney experience, it really solidified it and made it a good time. So I do suggest asking questions at the end. Okay, it's Thursday, which is a week and 1 day after the original interview, and we're in P.F. Chang's waiting for my eyebrow appointment. But I got an email, and so we're about to check. I'm here with my dad. I swear I was beyond the moon excited. I'm just not good at expressing it. Alright. It's December 10th. The job roles still have not been released, but today our lease agreements have come out. And me and my roommate ended up getting a 4x2. First I wanted a 2x2 because it's the cheapest, but after some consideration and I got some new gaming stuff, I had started hoping for a solo bedroom so I could bring more stuff and have a full-size bed and have my own space, because that's always nice, especially when you're in stressful environments. So the last thing we're waiting for is what role I have. It is December 11th. The day after. I think I got my lease yesterday. So it was the day after I got my lease. Currently in Florida. It's been a long day. Woke up at I went to sleep at like 1. Woke up at 5. Had a flight sometime in the morning. Now we're in Florida because we're going to Disney for some days. But long story short, I got my role. So very exciting. We were in Disney Springs, and one of my friends from the program texted me, and she was like, hey, have you checked your role? And I was like, no. So I checked, and I got attractions, which is what I wanted. My dream location would have probably been Hollywood Studios, doing something in Galaxy's Edge, but I ended up getting Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom, which I'm just as happy with, because I just wanted something in attractions. So that's very exciting. I don't know what attraction I'll be at in Tomorrowland, and I probably won't know that until I'm there and like actually training and all that type of stuff. So this is honestly the end of the video. I hope there's been some type of informative information that you've gotten out of this, and if not, thank you for watching at least. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in a couple weeks when I'm vlogging my experience.